Okay, first of all, what is about your speech today?
Well, actually, me and my fellow friend, Dr. Savo, we are speaking tomorrow. Our talk focuses on human rights and AI. So, what is the implication of artificial intelligence in the intersections of human rights, and how this, AI are systems that are currently being developed, that developed outside the consciousness of human rights, insofar as saying we still create systems that discriminate others, that exclude others, that perceives others as criminals, as and second-class citizens in societies. So how do we make innovation and technology that is more inclusive, that that is representative of the society as we know it today, and that is also conscious of the biases that are existing within society, and that seeks to address those biases instead of exacerbating such biases. So that's what our focus, the focus of our talk will be tomorrow.
Last month I was in a favela, okay, with some children that started to use some technologies, and they have nothing before.
Yeah.
So I think that the spread of these kind of technologies could help to be more inclusive, you know?
Yeah. No, indeed, of course. I mean, the entire thesis or reason why we have innovation and technology is to better our lives, is to improve our lives, and to make life much more better than it was yesterday. But we also need to think about how tomorrow will be, and what are the implications of some of the systems that we'll create, in whether will they mitigate the challenges that we have today, or they will exacerbate those challenges. So these are some of the things that we need to look critically at, while we are welcoming the goodness of what innovation and technology that is bringing. I mean, if you're talking about the favelas, now we have systems that enable children to have access to education that they did not otherwise had access to before, and that is great. But making that even more exclusive and accessible to many, that is what we must focus on. Make technology and innovation more inclusive, and technology for all, but not technology for the few. So I think that's the most critical thing we need to look at as we welcome the goodness of artificial intelligence, as it betters our lives and it creates a much better world for all of us.
Have you some tips for us about this?
Well, I would say diversity and inclusion. I mean, if you look at how some of these systems, who designs these systems for who? So we need to think about, if we have teams developing a particular software that responds to a particular problem in society, the team must be reflective of that society. In other way, if the team is very diverse and reflective of the communities that exist within our geographical spaces, then we are going to create systems that are more inclusive and that are more accessible. But if you have, for instance, systems that are created outside the inclusion of other members of the human family, then we are going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem because now that technology won't be accessible to other communities, and that technology would actually identify certain members of our community as outcasts, as criminals. You see how artificial intelligence in the security sector, for instance, is being currently deployed. And in fact, just recently there were discussions in Europe whether should we banish the use of artificial intelligence in the security system, because it identifies someone that looks like me as a potential criminal, but someone that looks like you as, you know what, you're just a normal member of the human race. But me, or people that look like me, they're perceived as potential criminals in certain spaces. And that's very problematic. So to make it more inclusive, make the design process of such systems more inclusive. Make your teams diverse. Test it with different groupings in society and how that system operates, so that it has an understanding of that the society as we live it is actually a very diverse one. So the systems that we create must also be reflective of those differences that we have and be reflective of that diversity, then that system would be able to learn and embrace those differences and that diversity and sees that diversity as a strength than as a problem that as it is today. So I think that's one of the tips. Make your teams more inclusive and more diverse. That way we'll create systems, innovation and technology. New technology that is going to emerge is going to be the one that recognizes the differences and the diversity. I mean, there is strength in our diversity. When you pull in the strengths from your community and I pull the strength from my community, we make the world better for all. But if it's only designed by you, for you, and services only a fraction of the human family, then we have problems. Then that's where issues of social injustices, targeting of certain individuals come into existence. That's where activists like myself, human rights activists, then we start having critical questions on what exactly is the purpose of that system. If you look at the use of artificial intelligence in the security sector, is it used, can it be weaponized to target people like us? So that's when we start having those questions, because we are not being included in the innovation process. So that's all I'm saying. That's all. That's what our talk will be about, to say we need to look critically while we accept and welcome the goodness of innovation and technology. We also ought to be critical so that it doesn't exacerbate the challenges that currently confront our communities today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
It was a pleasure speaking you again this year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.